Kwembele Fitoma. I'm the coordinator for the conference in Angola, and I represent Joteka, which is a movement for and Angolan platform for the citizens on public debt. I wanted, first of all, to thank you for the opportunity that was extended to us to be part or to be partners of Aphrodite on this very great event. And it's a great material that has greatly affected our country. Thank you on behalf, on the part of Aphrodite. We are very much engaged in this partnership until we can achieve the objectives that brought us to try to bring about prudent management of public debt. In the second place, I would like to extend our sincere apologies for us not being able to project anything right now. This is due to the fact that to the passage of time. For us here, we've practically already closed. For you on your end, there's still time, so we had to leave the conference room in accordance with what was initially planned. The conference in Angola had objectives to do capacity building for journalists and of various organs in our environment in Angola in relation to fundamental lessons about public debts, and in particular, well-deserved interest of the Angolan public, and also the manner in which we report these issues using investigative journalism on these issues of debt and development, and engage with them in such a way on issues of advocacy for prudent management of public debts. During the 3 days, the conference was held, and it went beyond our expectations for us as organizers, including for the participants. It was held in Luanda, the capital, in the auditorium of the university, the Catholic University of Angola, on the 9th, 10th, and 11th, from 8:30 to 14:30 Angola time. The conference went in a very interesting climate, where there was a lot of expositions from a lot of speakers. We had a lot of debates. We had an exchange of experience and presentations of various videos. And at the end, we had a preparation of conclusions and recommendations, and of course the presentations of certificates for some radio stations. We will send some pictures to you so you can.
Jose, we can't hear you well, Jose.
Hello, can you hear me?
We are struggling.
Hello, can you hear me?
Try again.
The conference had quite a huge participation.
Very good.
Okay, we are now having technical failures. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please proceed.
A conferência foi participada por 63.
The conference had 63 participants For 41 participated through our physical presence, present in this conference room, and 22 participated virtually through Zoom, virtually representing the 18 provinces of the country. From these 63, 41 were journalists coming from different institutions, journalist institutions, public media with 18 participants from the national television channel of Angola, national radio, and newspapers from Angola, and Angola, which is a press system. Some of the journalists came from private media houses, Radio Balanca, and other radio stations, including newspapers, including community radio stations, and young people who were developing works for media houses at community levels. This conference was also participated by various entities from Angola. We even had the Attorney General of the Republic, the Ministry of Natural Resources, of Oil and Gas, the Ministry of Social Action for Women and Children. We had two religious leaders, two academicians, and we had social activists at the conference as well. What was discussed at the conference were issues related to the public debt of Angola, where it was highlighted that the public debt of Angola was at a level of 103% of our national GDP. And $8 billion, where the vast majority of the creditors are China, and we had some other creditors where in reality we've lost the connection once again. Well, the public debt of Angola was classified as an unsustainable debt, even if some of our ministers actually say that the debt is sustainable. The Angolan debt is unsustainable. And up to this very moment, there are agreements within the public budget for 2020. We had quite a huge amount of the budget that went towards paying public debts. And the public budget for 2021, we had 61% going towards paying debts. And we also discussed the impact of the debts to the lives of those in the community, especially for women and children, where there's been a cut of certain services specifically for the health of women and children and maternity health. We also discussed the issue of the legal framework that deals with the issues of public debt and public budget. This includes strategic plans for debt management from 2017 to 2022. We also talked about investigative journalism that we can apply and strategies that we can apply for us to work together at African level, where a big journalist, Carlos, prepared some technical information about journalism, on how best journalists can interact with the communities, and the way stories should be drafted, the way they should be written, and the way these stories should be published, but also the sources that can help the journalists have access to the necessary information. We also identified great limitations for journalists, primarily access to information, taking into consideration that our country, as a media law and in our constitution, we have specific articles 173, which talks about the freedom of expression of opinion, but we still have a big problem encountering challenges in accessing information. The other limitation was the issue of reporting techniques, because a lot of Angolan media institutions don't apply too much importance on issues of planning for capacity building of their personnel, and end up looking for staff from outside the country. The other challenge is space for action. Because in our country, once a journalist reports on things of great importance about the government, if they're not killed, they will be fired from their job. And many actually end up in prison. And the other challenge is that the fact that Angolan journalists are practically isolated from the rest of the continent, because the Angolan media is like a local media that doesn't have a lot of connection with the rest of the continent. So this issue was highlighted as one of the great opportunities with this Pan-African conference that is being promoted by Aphrodite as a great opportunity for the Angolan media to establish a relationship with the rest of Africa and the external. Another issue that we had, of course, was the engagement between the class of journalists, where the greater majority of the media houses that are talking about the public debt, for the first time talking about this since the Angolan government contracted these debts, where one civil society organization at African level talked about the situation of the public debt in Angola. This means that this conference has opened the door that the Angolan public debt is being known about in Africa and becomes an issue for debate for us. Reverend Tonya Anzinga, who is the religious leader, made an appeal to the Angolan government that we need to look at the issue of illicit financial flows, which was also discussed, because the public debt of Angola, we do not know exactly how much it is in talent. We don't know how many creditors we have or lenders. We don't know how much of the debt has been paid. And we continue to live in this difficult climate where from not far from now, Angola will have serious challenges. And as a way forward, the journalists, after having a SWOT analysis, understood that there's a lot of problems in these media institutions because of lack of knowledge. And of course, the lack of transparency and etiquette in the work of journalism. Because the Angolan journalists are passive. They report and publish what they encounter in the communities, and they receive materials from the communities, and sometimes their information passes through a sanitation process before it is approved for it to be published and it has to be in favor of the Angolan government, not by the politics. And for us, as Ajudeca, we're very happy about the holding of this conference because it gave us a very big door for us to have great engagements, and we believe from here going forward we will not stop. Because once we have a group of more than 40 journalists, I've asked that between 15 days from now, that Ajudeka should promote another meeting where these journalists can come and we can try and see in what manner we can start an idea for us creating a platform that is a Pan-African platform for investigative journalism and reporting on death and development, and so that we can integrate ourselves, our colleagues from the rest of the continent. He's here speaking is Manuel Mbele Futuma, Executive Director of JUDECA and coordinator of the Angolan movement on debt and development, and part of the movement supporting journalism on this Pan-African conference, which was closed or reached its conclusion this afternoon at 14 hours. Fidelity, thank you very much. These were the information that we had to report.